Hello everyone, my name is Reewyn and welcome back to another FNAF Theory. Today we're exploring a timeline theory. Not the whole timeline, as that's something I'm quite frankly not prepared to tackle yet. Instead, we are looking at the timeline of Bonnie Bro, aka Cassie's dad, and potentially predicting the future of the games. Now, I would recommend watching my first theory surrounding Bonnie Bro and Jeremy's relationship before this one. I will touch on that video in this one, and I will cover it roughly, but for more detail and proof, please watch the earlier video. Anyway, so why would we even want to know this timeline? Well, for one, it's important to establish the timeline of the new era of FNAF, aka Help Wanted onwards, and the one who is perhaps most consistent in this is a specific character, Bonnie Bro, aka Cassie's dad. In theory, he's been around since 1983 and dies likely not long after the events of Security Breach. Cassie's dad has likely been at the Pizzaplex for a while, since, quote, Cassie never slept better than she did in the daycare. Additionally, when referring to her father's Faz wrench, she states, quote, a Faz wrench, just like my dad's. She doesn't seem upset when referring to him, which to me implies at the very least he hasn't been missing for long, not long enough to feel that all hope is gone. Cassie also states that her father wouldn't tell her what happened to Bonnie. This means that, at the very least, he must have died post-VIP, which again implies he died a little after or right before the events of Security Breach. So, he died around Security Breach. We're going to work back from this now and go from the start. Now, you'll know from my previous theory that I speculate Cassie's dad, aka Bonnie Bro, has been around for a while. In 1983, he participated in the murder of the crying child. He seems to be quite young around then, perhaps a young teen. Later, when his younger brother dies during the MCI, he's around a late teen. However, it is not the past that is the most interesting to us. It's past that. Now, here is where there is a bit of debate. If Jeremy from Help Wanted was Cassie's brother, then it's likely Cassie's dad met his partner around 20 years ago. If not, then he would have met his partner at least roughly 10 years ago, since he has Cassie. Whether they're still around is a different question, considering that Cassie is always coming to the Pizzaplex during her father's work. For canonicity's sake, we'll place his becoming a father around 10 years ago. Now the juicy bit, Security Breach and his death. To find this, we actually have to look forward, Reewyn and Help Wanted 2. The ending of Help Wanted 2 shows us that whoever we're playing as ends up becoming Maskbot. Additionally, the second ending, if canon, also shows us that he escapes being controlled. So, what does this tell us? It tells us that the people in the Pizzaplex, including Cassie's dad, are somehow being put inside the machine. We can actually get more of an idea of how this works. U/Kylo Fitz helpfully provides this image where we can see that the Maskbot is partially organic. Either wiring or veins are attached to his body, and most interestingly, the top of the head almost seems to be like a brain. This would imply employees have been partially placed inside the animatronics to keep their consciousness. Therefore, someone has put them inside there. Interestingly enough, this could also give us a look on how Afton stuffed his victims or experimented on them. Anyway, judging by the dirtiness of the bot's state, he's been there for a while, but he's not as filthy as the basement bots, meaning he likely hasn't been kept out of sight and is more recent. The shape of the ears imply that he was either crafted as a mockery of the fact that he liked Bonnie as a child, that he was Bonnie Bro, that his little brother became Bonnie, or just that Vanny has taken over him. Regardless, Vanny influenced by Mimic would know all of this. To me, this implies someone that knows him did this. So, when was he killed? We know from the missing posters he's not the only one that disappeared. The missing poster in the basic ending of Security Breach shows that there are at least 9 people missing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't Reewyn disprove this ending? Technically, yes, but the endings were all meant to convey certain details. For example, Disassemble Vanny ending shows that the staff bots were following the command of the walkie-talkie. From the basic ending, I believe we are meant to understand Gregory is homeless and that people are missing. Just because the ending isn't canon doesn't mean we weren't meant to take something from this. I also highly suspect that whatever happened to these people happened to Cassie's dad. So, did he just disappear in the middle of the Pizzaplex, or what? Well, no. There is actually an opportune time for the mass murders to have occurred, and also his own death. The late-night staff meetings. I don't think he necessarily died at the meeting, rather died later, but I think it was a contributing factor. Quote, Reminder to all employees, the all-staff meeting is this Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. All service team attendance is mandatory. There will be cake. This is the perfect time for employees to be found and massacred. As a maintenance team member, Cassie's dad likely wouldn't have shown up to this. It seems to be more service, so like food service. Look at the state of the staff room. Something clearly happened here. A scuffle. Murder. Heck, maybe the staff bots were made to clean up their own blood. The staff bots, shown in the pink slip bag, shows that employees will no longer be needed during the night shift due to the coverage of the staff bots. The staff have reduced hours. According to another note, question, the staff are working 14-hour shifts and then being forced to go to the party. They won't put up much resistance. Finally, there was a call made to the police one night to which Vanessa claimed nothing was wrong and assumed it was a prank call. Something definitely happened that night, likely a massacre that was covered up. They probably were earlier experiments in order to start trialing the staff bots, traditional Afton style. Use the souls. Maybe it's the mimic infection inspired by Afton causing Vanessa to do this. Maybe she used the other staff bots to do this. These people were probably the people put into the staff bots for the initiative and later are spotted by none other than Cassie's father. As a likely day shift employee, he wasn't sent with these initial murders. He knew something was wrong, so he began snooping. Within reason, of course. But when the construction crew found this secret elevator, he was prompted to explore, to find out just what was happening. Maybe on his own, maybe with the construction crew that was set to head down there, as of duffel bag message old elevator. Quote, "Today, we broke through the foundation and found what looks like an old elevator shaft. Someone must have known about this, right? There's something down there pulling power. I'm taking a team down in the morning to check it out." When does this story get continued? Well, in a Help Wanted 2 cutscene, we are down in the basement following the cable when we find the power drain. A charging station surrounded by staff bots. Staff bots under control. Staff bots that end up killing us. It's not hard to guess what happens next. We're torn apart, shredded, and likely rebuilt as a staff bot, and end up putting our own child into danger. So now we've pieced that together. If you're a believer of my previous theory, like myself, he's come to the Pizzaplex to avenge his little brother and to avenge crying child, just making sure that this never happens again. He leaves his child there where she's safe, working long, ridiculous hours. But in his curiosity and his need to find justice, he ends up dead himself, finding the truth, realizing what he's missed, and realizing he can't fix it. It's happened again, and there's nothing he can do about it. So, what does this tell us for the future of the games? Well, I think it's about to get darker. These events can be found by reading duffel bags, but I do wonder if we're going to see more. Cassie probably survived, injured, or maybe she's been survived the same way as the animatronics. I have a feeling we're about to see a twist game ending where it turns out she was an animatronic. We finally got a robot child, hey? Roxy wants to save her by any means necessary. Maybe an illusion disc makes Cassie believe she's real. Maybe Roxy lies to her, and that would be the plot of the new game. This is also what Secret of the Mimic tells us. The Mimic knows Afton's secrets. He knows how to turn murder into animatronic life. Mimic knows it too. Regardless, we're on the brink of something horrific, and it's far from over. So that's about it for today. This was a really interesting theory to me and almost like a second half to my first one, which, by the way, I sincerely appreciate the love for. It really hyped me up to continue to make these. They're a lot of hard work, but also really enjoyable. This one felt important too. We have the pieces of the puzzle, but it's important to put them all together to understand the future. The truth often lies in the past. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, leaving a comment, and or leaving a like. I drop a new theory every month, and I also create a variety of other content. It takes a lot of time to make these, and I love doing them, so seeing all the love and support really encourages me to make more of them. Also, if you're interested in me exploring a specific theory, or a bunch of mini ones, please let me know. I'll be happy to oblige. That's all for today. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.